15 played in the last 3 months and only 1 blemish on the record. Got G2 though with the 1x bet odds leaning their way, understandably so after Mirage went their way. Let's see if Gambit can start as they need to go on. Mid, I do like this from G2. They've been doing this even in the gunnies, so keep your eyes on their mid goes. They can smoke off the sandbags cross, elevators denied, and then just swing into that B site. That's always just an option though, Nafani, to receive them. That's Nico v Nafani, and the smoke's actually gone towards T-Spawn. Interesting now. CT Spawn, excuse me. Now Jack's surging forward. There's so many bodies. Great movement to at least isolate Nafani, and he does behead him. Another chance. 2-for-1 exchange. Gambit get the better of them, and it's not quite over yet. Hunter, slight gap in that smoke. If Nexa could just hit this shot long range, now the site is open for business, and a 2v4 becomes a 2v3 with the bomb about to go down.
Have some flashes here for Inters to help enable this. They might be quick on this Gambit.
Hunter's pushed up close. Just going to be a test of his metal now. Oh, just as he looks away. Good find from Hobbit. And it's the end for Nexa as well.
That's 3 out of 3 pistols for Gambit so far within this series. So they've been looking hot on the pistols. Now, first map, they lost the force buy in round number 2. Let's see if they're able to steady here. Going to be a necessary evil, I think, if we want to see Gambit picking up some confidence. You saw Nafani on the cameras in the early stages getting loud, trying to fire the team up. Going to need more of that here. Now, a couple of little notes here with the G2T side. Hunter is the man you want to keep your eyes on over towards the A bomb site. Once he gets that scaffolding control, his lurks and his prowess with looking for picks over towards A is one of the highlights, I think, for this G2 side. They've opted in for a force buy behind that plant. A couple of Galils, Mac-10, a Deagle, and they're trying to set up here for an early B presence. Lobby being taken, Amanek just walking on through. That Molotov they've thrown is enabling the push, and they might just set up for a quick B piece.
I think the flash will stop Axel, but he still unloads his mag, as does Inters, and both with lethality. Hunter, Amanek, down and out of round 2 already. G2 were trying to start with a bang. Galil's in play. The bodies just keep lining up. This is the perfect weapon for the job. Axile keeps him at arm's length. Long range, elevated position, just the tippy top of his head. Jax with a wrist breaker has at least managed to keep it a little bit competitive. He'll tuck in and hope they hunt, but this is Gambit we're talking about.
Is Jax aim the best for an old boy?
Oh, yeah.
Jax is 29
100%.
now.
And he's even got a chance onto the second. I still remember that ridiculous transfer he did on Nuke. You remember that one? Yeah. Like hut to sight in a blink of an eye in like 2 frames.
He's crazy. He's crazy. He's great at these off angles. That little, I think that's an echidna out for Axel. We'll get the check on which type of animal it is, but it does look spiky. So he's got his little friend there to help him on out.
A hedgehog?
Oh, it's a hedgehog, not an echidna. Did I get a bit? I
don't know what you're saying. It sounds like, is that a CS team?
You guys not know what echidnas are? Is
that like Akuma's coach or something?
You don't know what an echidna is?
What the bloody hell is an echidna? What is that? That looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was. Okay. I thought everyone knew what echidnas were.
I'm guessing his nickname's like Hedgehog.
Okay, that yeah, I think you're right. That does ring a couple bells. I think I've heard Frankie talking about the Hedgehog before. But this is just a couple of pistols upgraded in 2 Deagles, 2 P2 Fitties, and a Glock.
Hedgehog. It does sound weird now. I've said it so many times.
We used to have a thing called Hedgehog Slice.
Sounds like a, I don't know, a name like from the Terry Pratchett universe or something. Ooh.
Who's Terry?
Terry Pratchett?
Yeah.
Discworld Chronicles?
I think our world's colliding here. I think me being on the bottom of the globe and you being at the top, we missed a few references.
The whole backwards. And I'm personally upset they haven't taken
animal cruelty
the tag off. Like, the poor guy.
Someone get some scissors. Cut that one out.
It's
or maybe
a 2-second job.
Maybe he hangs it around.
Yeah.
Carries around.
Puts it through his ear.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to ask Axel some questions about the Hedgehog Echidna in the future. But here we go. Gun rounds. Guns are out. 5 AK-47s. All power for Shiro, of course. His sugar daddy in the server. Lining that one up time and time again.
He needs to play that simulator. Jax on his islands. He likes to play mid through that. And the boosted up Hobbit. How diligent are his protocols for his mid clear? So he clears the close one side. Axel has already caught out the B player in Amanek. Jax cleared one side. Is he going to even bother to contest the other? Not quite. Axel looking very flirtatious with some aggression here.
Yeah, assisted there by those flashes of Inters, right? That is enabling those peaks, and Inters has one more to go for another little looky-loo if they would like. But back over towards the B bomb site, Nexa is pivoting. Now they have the lobby control and they have enough utility to go for a very well orchestrated execute. You can get that molly back towards the quad position, molly default, the smokes to cotton off that air composition. And Nico with that smoke, that's the lurk smoke to get scaffolding control. So that will hold anybody at bay looking for info, right? If you swing out Crane, you have to worry about the one-way.
Yeah, and that's typically the role we'll see Hunter doing. It's actually going to be Nico for now. Rejoins the forces. So into the site against Axile and Inters to react. Here comes the util. Axile extinguish and swing. Actually, Mantle's up. He's been spotted. I'm surprised he hasn't caught a single bullet just yet. G2 charging in. Very loud about this, and hiding in the smoke is Axile. He will go down. If they find them both, G2 have recovered. A competitive round starting to take shape. Trying to deny. Look at him go. Nafany just drives straight in. Gets the frag he demanded. Shiro will find an easy one onto Jax. We've got a 2v2 here. It is just going to be the two cousins. Brothers in arms. Equipped with AKs and a scrap of health for Nico. It's a headshot angle, though. It won't be easy for Shiro to hit this, but he has managed to drop a little bit of a bad smoke. Great tap from Nico. He can play the time now. And Hobbit's chances dwindle with every passing second. What's he supposed to do? He'd love to do some more damage. And Hunter's not having any of it. That's the big conversion. And that tap onto Shiro did some serious, serious work. It could have got very awkward. A bit of a weird smoke as well from Shiro. So G2 win out the 2v2.
It's in a couple of those when they're going for the diffusers here, not getting them quite on top of that bomb. It would have made the pick there a little bit easier or something to play around, but not the end of the world. There is enough money for Gambit to muster yet another buy. Emissions, indeed. 2 MP9s, 2 M4s, the AWP for Shiro again. Can they respond immediately? That's the question. As over towards B they go once more. Early flash out. Axile jumps up and immediately takes down Hunter.
How does he keep getting away with this? Double from Axile. Just immediately twists the knife back on G2. They just were celebrating 5 seconds ago, and now two of them silenced. Amanek's been the victim of that multiple times. And that smoke, just from the sound alone, Nexa knows he's close. That's an underhand jobby.
Exchanged some nades there as well. Nexa's on the receiving end of more damage. He's down to 63.
Now, they overcame the man disadvantage before. They did it with style.
Well, that landed right on the feet of Hobbit.
Yeah, he's been forced out. Axile to back up Hobbit. But Jax has done well to it. He forced their hand. Oh, that was a chance for Nexa. He'd have loved that frag onto Nafany. And Nico in pursuit of an opener onto B. Got 45 seconds. He's absolutely not in any rush. Wants to see if Gambit will give him just an inch. That not far off the mark. He's playing with fire. Is Axile just on the rampy elevated position? Look at him go. He started this round. He could very well close it on his own. Does manage to inflict another dink. And Jax comes alive. The 10 HP warrior shouldn't have any more. Hard tap, hard fight. Next is looking the wrong way. Will go down. And Gambit right back into control.
Oof, good job there to take down 3 players. That's going to make the investment for Gambit pretty difficult, but you have to give credit to Axile there. He currently has 8 kills to his name. He is leading the server, and he locked down that B bomb site against that early onslaught. The initial wave that came on through just jumps up, little pirouette, grabs 2 quick frags. Here you go, there's the highlight. Look at this, back again, off the flash. His kid wants to keep on fighting, and that one impressed me the most because Nico's tagged him, put him on notice. I know where you are. Not going to stop him. Stands up, delivers 3 huge kills, and puts G2 down to these pistols. Nice little nade there from Shiro. Bowl that one forward. Hunter cops the lion's share of damage, down to 12 HP.
First chance to see what the A defense feels like. All too easy. Molly forces Nexa's hand. And there's 2. Little worse for wear, but he's got plenty of teammates to do the rest of the lifting for him. Nade onto Jax. Softens him up.
I think Jax has taken 3 nades in this round. That early one did 12 damage, and now he's copped a little bit more to put him to 55. Anything that G2 can get out of this round would be great, considering how things have kicked on off. Jax, more utility damage, down to 46. He'd love an opportunity to shoot someone, I'm sure.
Just stop throwing stuff at me and peek me.
Are they actually going to pivot back over towards Axile here? He still is at this B site.
It's very hard to feel confident taking those fights after his demonstration of just how capable he is. And he's got that perfect weapon as well. We saw how the AUG worked in the first gun round. And nice
Oh my
shot again.
god!
Jax has just got the wrist for it.
It's like, it's a magnet for the headshots there. That is wild. Now this is going to have its logical conclusion unless Nico does something special.
Highest rated player in the tournament.
Yeah.
Highest rated player in the tournament, Chan. Shouldn't be anything. Axel doesn't seem to make any mistakes so far here on Vertigo, and he's a very big component of their victory. You can see 10 kills in just 6 rounds of play. I'm not sure if his ADR is bugged, but that looks about right.
That's 180.
It makes about sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Halbert has 9 kills, so he's quietly chugging along too. And this will force a timeout out of G2 just to discuss that next gun round. What are we going to be looking to aim for here? Now, the fact that they went B in one round and then went B the next round and were unable to get away with it, that stops the conditioning. Because the idea is we want to force them to play 2 players heavy B, or maybe leave a gap middle, or A is a little bit more susceptible, right? It's about causing weakness on other side of the maps before you go back to this A execute simulator. They haven't been able to do that. So at this point, Gambit stay in the driving seat.
Have they tried to do that? Oh, you mean you haven't been able to force the second CT?
Because if they got it 2 in a row, that would force the hand of Gambit. Right. They have to respect the B executes. They either have to go more aggressive towards that lobby position, they have to go for pushes somewhere else, they have to make another bomb site weaker, but they didn't get away with it. No,
because Axel decided he was just going to fight you right there on the mantle and get himself a double. And this is another example of why Axel has single-handedly not enabled the G2 conditioning towards that B site. Gambit happy to just call upon Axel's solo hold for now. Enables them to have this many numbers here to receive on the A side of the map. Now, G2 are trying something a little different.
Yeah, that Molotov isn't going to buy as much time as I think Inters was hoping for, because they're very close. It subsides now and they can creep out for free. There are no eyes on middle whatsoever, and Inters has the worst weapon to deal with this unless they waterfall over the top. He can't peek this.
No, and this is the smoke I was talking about on Elevator's side. Good damage. Softens him up for Inter's MP9. He's sitting anti-flash, does go down, as does Axile. B is open for business, Chad. And this is Gambit we're talking about. I think they might just have to concede. Hobbit, gonna roam around. 2 teammates over on the A side of the map as well.
I think that they were expecting a bit more of an A play there, and that just wasn't the case whatsoever. Hobbit's going to go down from above. Eco saw him for days, so Hobbit will get the better of him. Bomb is halfway tick now. So we'll call this one the second round for G2. But this persistence and the affinity for at least the B side of the map is paying off. So maybe that conditioning I was talking about might be a bit more of a conversation.
Axile's a turret, right? But turrets can only shoot one direction at a time.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful component that we haven't seen before is that construction was a threat. Inter's pressured, under scrutiny, and that B duel comes through from stairs. Probably a lovely relief from G2 to just prove to themselves they can knock him on his bottom. And that puts the second on the board early.
It was just wild to see Inters on that MP9, right? Maybe a better weapon for the job. He could have got something done there, but he will get himself his hands on a rifle now going into round number 8. And let's see if they can course correct once more. Nico is into the SG, the Krieg again, and we saw him have great success with that to help close out that first map. Now, when there was the whole discussion about Nico AWPing, this is before Amanek pulled it up full time, Nico was in lieu of the AWP using the Krieg a lot. So he's had plenty of practice on it, and it goes with his tappy aim.
Well, some of the best and highest rated players in the tournament have been trying it. I remember Tabson was relentlessly trying to make it work as well. I've yet to see the Krieg round where everyone starts making angry threads.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get back to that that level of Krieg dominance.
No, but it definitely does seem like it serves a purpose now, which I'm sure Valve would be grateful for.
Probably smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah.
Just wondering how they can get that bloody revolver in everybody's hands. Well, here we go. Timeout taken, discussions had, an important round here for Gambit, unless they save again. So they would love to bounce back with a round of their own in response.
Going to be something very early, eh? Walking over those bridge steps, not going to make a noise. What's he up to? Nafany trying to go for something aggressive. Will tuck in Scaff to contest.
He might get spotted here, you know, he has the kit as well.
Yeah, and Shiro's not here to assist him. They aren't checking it, though. This is a good chance. They've drawn a line in the sand. If they expose themselves to Nafany, he's already knocked Nico on his bottom, 1 for 1. If they could just pressure Shiro, they're considering it at least. He's in a 1 and done. We'll be able to back away after pulling the trigger, but G2 have other plans, other intentions. You can see the molly will clear out close, and oh, Amanek yet to frag, but walking in on, oh, he made a noise. Just the element of surprise, completely squandered, and Axel will collect again in the head-to-head on B. This one just dissolves and peters out.
Getting a very clear picture of G2's game plan from their Mirage T side and now the Vertigo. The idea is just to put a lot of pressure on one bomb site and hope that Gambit over-rotate. They did time and time again on Mirage. So far here on Vertigo in the earlier stages, you see Axar's not going to be fooled by those same tricks. So walking towards the A ramp, Jax, let's see if this aim can eliminate any more heads. It's such a passive setup being employed here from Gambit. Hobbit up towards Heaven, not taking a peek at all, and Shiro deep within that elevator room. So a lot of respect being given to G2 in this 2-on-4.
Watch Jax hit this. Oh, he's just quick. Always impressed watching Jax, just from the mechanical perspective. Out the roster, in the roster, doing the okie-kokie.
Okay, well, they're going to try... I don't know how much time they have for this, Nexa. Are you just going to run on in and try and plan? I think so.
You'd love a bomb plan. That should be way too much resistance there. Jax, 3 seconds. Just going to have to survive now. Doesn't want to go down. Oh, they're going to push him. Oh, Jax. Oh, Jaxy boy. Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to suck. 1,300 left in his bank balance. Looking a bit skew-whiff there at the last closing stages. So just to clarify, the plan there was just Nexa tries to get the bomb plant, get some extra cash in the round loss.
Yeah, and because of the time, he couldn't actually go up shore and meet Jax to try and get a safer avenue to the site. I think they were both hoping that a kill would come either their way and then they could play the mid-round. But yeah, it doesn't really get across the line in the way that they were hoping. And another timeout called here. Let Malik get in with the conversation because it can be a buy for G2. It is just Jax with that money. Didn't get the loss bonus. He could buy a Deagle. Look, we've already seen him be pretty handy with a shot or two. There's no dramas whatsoever for him investing into one of the $700 hand cannons. It doesn't feel like the half has completely gotten away from G2 just yet. And normally when the scorelines are starting to get to this, we're feeling, oh, it's dominant. Now, it is looking much better from Gambit here, but it doesn't feel super dominant just yet. The kill after time and the fate of Jax being felt. As we get into round number 9.
Yeah, very different feeling for G2 at this T-side juncture.
Have a look at what they've done with their money here. So Jax has been gifted a Deagle. It's just a half buy. They'll be able to buy again in the next round. So G2 staying threatening over multiple. Oh, that nade is great.
Oh, couldn't have been better. Axal, again, tested. This time, Amanet gets this first. And it's too easy for Intus. Just unloads his mag into the tightest of lines. Hunter. Just a Galil up against 2 very potent rifles. It's Intus to collect. And the Nico Deagle still yet to depart spawn.
Look, if you're G2, you're probably not too worried about that because you were actually playing the numbers game very, very efficiently there. It'd be nice to get an upgrade into that AK for one of the Gambit players. Nafny especially on the FAMAS. And Nico just again looking to do damage, right? This is G2 playing the current version, the 2021 version of Counter-Strike, right? Nico of old, the one that you guys all remember from the FaZe days, the mouse sport days, he'd be rolling around, he'd be trying to pop off heads, getting stuck in a little bit more, but because this is by the books, and you have a Count and Malik behind you, counting every single penny, you know how important just a kill could be, still within the early stages of this map. So we'll stick with him. You can see Hobbit there, he's be dealing with the waterfall over the top of that mid-construction window. 18 seconds now, he needs to die. Doesn't want a similar fate as to what Jax had in the previous, but this will be the 7th here for Gambit, guaranteed.
Brutal clear for Nico as well. He's going to walk straight in and lose his head. 7 for Gambit, heading towards that magical number of a 1/2. And the management definitely nice. It's a great recovery considering Jax is oopsie.
Yeah, and that's great that they could take the timeout to work that out, because a lot of teams maybe get a little bit frazzled. The timeout or the time for the freeze time is quickly transpiring and they maybe rush the buy, go for a bit of a hasty decision. They will take another timeout. So this is good in the sense that they're making sure they understand what the approach is going to be. But let's say there is a bit of a comeback in this one. There will only be 1 timeout remaining where Malik gets a chance to chip on in and have that conversation. Right now, Gambit are getting a chance to profit from this as well. They get to talk, they get to discuss what's been happening so far. Are there any weaknesses? Does anybody have a spawn that they want to try and use? Are there any maneuvers that we want to throw out now just to continue to set this pace and tone? That purchase is coming on in. All the goodies they desire. T-side AWP, look, it's not essential on a map like Vertigo. It's difficult with all that util to really be finding too much traction with picks. So they're happy to operate here with the 5 AK-47s, but back towards A we go one more time. Nico, Nexa, Amanek dealing with the B push. Naxal is pushing.
Oh, first time for everything, and Amanek collects. Oh, that is dreamy. It's exactly what G2 are looking for off the back of that timeout. Fully equipped, and now with a man advantage. They can't let this slip though, Chad.
Have to play off of the info they've been gifted here. Nexa knows that Nafny likes to play close to that molly and the spam. He's been watching the demos indeed, and Nafny still gets the better, and Nexa through the fade. That's so much info right now. Gambit can pivot.
Oh, at least he's ahead of the smoke. Oh no, SoundQ, Nafny knows he's there. Nico's lost a lot of his health and wallbang down Nafny immediately. Not only equalizes, he seizes the advantage for his squad. Jack's got to be very careful. So Gambit just decide to bring aggression into the mix, and you can see how much it's caught G2 off guard.
This is the mix-up, right? We're talking about what G2 are going to change, but it's Gambit who are the one who come out swinging from that timeout.
Whoa.
Nafny could have a couple more here.
His conversion onto Nico impressed me, and there's more to come. Oh, Nafny seizes the opportunity and seizes a quad kill. That's the kind of performance you want out of your in-game leader, a high fragging in-game leader. The very best to be doing it right now in modern-day Counter-Strike.
He's beautiful to watch. His decision-making is mental, and then he backs it up with the individual ability.
Like this. So, gets Nexa, molly nade, here's the SoundQ, just bangs the box. And the fact that you can see Jax had no expectation. He hasn't had resistance for like 7, 8 rounds in a row on mid when he walks around that corner this time. Not only Axel pushing B, not only Nafny pushing ramp, Hobbit pushing mid. Gambit mix it up and throw G2 once again back into economic disarray. It's going to be the half buy.
And that round right there was only the second opening kill that G2 have been able to muster within this half so far, and they just get flatlined, just absolutely stopped in their tracks.
Util usage looks on point. Hobbit's a challenge, looking promising. And straight through off the back of his flash. Nico and Jax, something to say. Nico grabbing an AK and that bomb. So not out of the woods yet. Gambit Shearer's looking the wrong way. Nexus, yeah, he's charging through. This is actually really smart. Will he clear his corners? Oh, Shearer looks just away, misses his shot. Now Nexa, standing in the face of an opportunity, will turn the flash. He wants to finish off the Shearer orb. Down to 50 HP, no less. He'll linger in the smoke. It buys time for the bomb at least. Nexa, the unknown entity. Bomb down, Nexa can recede. He's done enough to at least force the bomb plan. A retake now for Gambit. Plenty of kit. Smoke as well present for Axile. Nico would need to hit that first bullet out of his AK here. Not quite to be. Has to reposition. That smoke in the kit really is going to suck as the ground is covered. They push in as a unit.
Time now, we're halfway ticked.
Molly short, smoke on the bomb. Would love a frag now. Shiro posted up. Nico's AK starting to hit heads. It's not quite there and not quite enough. It's 2 out of the 3. Gambit do take 9.
Sharp shooting from Nico there. Look, it's obviously no surprise to see him lopping off heads like that, but that was almost some daylight robbery. G2 almost pulled away another pistol round victory here, and that just shows that weakness of middle being exploited one more time. The red button's been hit. We've been talking about no T-side AWP. Yeah. Well, Nico is bringing it out right now, thinking there's a fight to be found. He got really out of control here in middle. Shiro, you know, he's already over to help out. And again, right, we've spoken about what the game plan appears to be from G2. Smoke and mirrors, find the gap. Nex has found it, and Hobbit's seen a head right there.
Look at the liberties he took there. Jax's responsibility gets fruity. Nafny, you're not doing it again. Imagine if he catches Nexa with the same bag of tricks. Does underhand it, and you can see Nexa's desperate to not get caught out for the same walk up from Nafny. And his bullet's downrange. Nico tagged up. Well, he might die here. Any second, Nafny's bullets could be in the right place. He's down to 10. The biggest gun. He spent every penny on this, and now he's just got to sit there with 10 HP. Axel on his elevated position. That's the difference maker. Hunter's managed to actually keep it level. That will force rotates back. And not just 1, 2 floating back towards the B site. The util encouraging that. This is mission accomplished for G2 in that respect.
Yeah, they need to make some space over towards A, don't they? It's really difficult with Nico so low. How's he going to find a pick here? It kind of needs to be gifted one.
What are you up to, Nafny? dispatches Inter's and starts his stroll. Jax walked in on, eliminated. He makes it look so easy and then just evaporates. Just like that.
Oh, he's coming back. No, he's not.
Vantage, he did make the sound cue. Yeah, he fancies it.
Careful on that ladder, Nico. Can't be taking any risks right there. Heading back towards A and loudly, 20 seconds. They have to get a move on.
Yeah, and it's Shiro. AKV Orp, posted up on the tight line, holding short. He's well aware that it's a possibility. Hunter, ooh, just as the smoke pops. Great maneuver. Bullets shy, they're so low, and Nafany doing it. Oh, he denies it as well. Round winning from Nafany. God, he's good.
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere. We've seen him A-ramp, pushed mid, and denying on A site.
He's feeling himself right now. You know, we were talking about in that first map, G2 reading Gambit, having a really good understanding of their approach on their T side. Well, Nafany single-handedly is showing you the read of the in-game leader. He's the boss. He gets to decide where he wants to be and how he wants to be there. And his impact is being felt. He wasn't leading the scoreboard in terms of frags early on, but the impact for him has been mental in the last few. Only 8 kills, but every single one has felt like it's got Gambit one step closer to victory here on Vertigo. Gap smoke landing, maybe a bit more pace behind this. Ripcord has been hit. Leg shot onto Nexa too.
It's just so suffocating. You know, like every G2 perspective we jump to, there's something being thrown their way, whether it's an aggressive maneuver, a Molotov, a nade, a flash, they all have to stomach something out of the G2 camp. Hobbit, what are you up to? He fancies himself a little bit of a look. He actually responds to the Molotov with a flash of his own.
Yeah, Nafany's still being towards Sandbag. What an absolute nuisance he is. He has a full set of nades right here, so if they Molotov his position, he can smoke it out, and he'll get support from Shiro and Hobbit, who are still close enough. But it looks like they're just leaving Hunter over here right now. He's the only one in a forward position. The rest are still quite passive down below Hobbit in forklift room.
Hobbit does a lot of good work here, but this is Hunter's domain, and Hobbit and a nutmeg. Oh, and he's found a gap. He can punish them all. Looking for 2, makes it. And now a 3v4. Nafany fanning around, doesn't quite get his gun out in time. Now we're talking. A gap. Shiro missing a shot. Uncharacteristic. Inters is there to pick up the pieces. No sweat. Bomb down.
Axel's flanking.
That smoke is perfect. Jax dumping his util that will at least segregate, might surge them forward. Hunter to deal with his duel. It's Axel though. That B player, he's been causing so many problems. He continues to do that. What a nuisance. They might line up for him. Jax anticipating a second, can't find him. Shiro just ducks under the crosshair. And Gambit, they are giving us a masterclass in the CT side of Vertigo.
Yeah, they're really tidied things up, and they're looking like a force to be reckoned with right now, showing why they've picked Vertigo here as map number 2. This is looking great. 11-2 the current scoreline, and I don't know what's going to stop them here. The plant is good. We will see a full buy come out of G2 once more. Loss bonus in play. Maxed on out, because you have to take a look at this. It's been, well, 6 rounds in a row for Gambit. Pistol round, the conversion, that was fantastic. That's a change of tune from map number 1. And now they've just put in pain constantly down time and time again, and we've already spoken about the amount of timeouts G2 have used. That's their final timeout, gone, all in the first half. 4 timeouts in the first half of play here. And look, if it changes the conversation, we end up with an 11-4, it'll be worth it. But if not, we might be sailing quickly onto map number 3.
Just haven't really seen any evidence of a way in for them. Look at this. Hobbit pushes through his short smoke. It's just him and Shiro on the side.
Oh, you can see it. You can see the fire in Nafany. We've noted it when they've been in their boot camp facility time and time again, but we're getting it now.
Nafany's Twitter banter implies this is just another boot camp. You can't be smart and funny in Nafany. Leave some of the characteristics for the rest of us.
Well, G2, slow. That's the response, you know? They're not going to hit this one with pace. They're not going to come and try and attack this brick wall that is the CT side. They're just going to take their time.
Hobbit's got so many different ways to mix it up. The same player that was just pushing on their A-ramp is now in that elevated position, completely containing any info play Jax may fancy towards mid.
sail over his head. It's not going to change anything. Hobbit's still going to call mid completely clear right now.
One way to hold that info. You can see a very hard clear for the T's. Jack's patient, and Hunter, lives to tell the tale of Shiro's first orb shot over round 14. Now they're looking to rejoin. This is where Hobbit's position starts to become less about info and more about bloodshed. And he peeks on in, perfectly timed, even trade. Jax will get the better of him. That's the bomb, that's the chance. Amanek knocks Inters for 6, smoke deployed. Shiro unable to contest, will have to opt for CT. Axel losing vision, looking promising, they know he's there. They need this headshot, they need it cleanly. The spray's just a little awry. Shiro's gone too, and this is G2 breaking the barrier of Gambit. That's a change-up, that's a big round, and it's something. Good trades, finding Hobbit, just keeping him contained to 1. And the fact that Amanek managed to shut down that Inter's resistance in the trades puts a third on the board.
Yeah, you could see that Inters is trying to transition across to make sure that that mid-to-B split isn't possible, but by doing so, he doesn't take the fight, and he's in transition, just gets caught off guard, bullet to the side of the dome here, and a very important kill from Amanek. That is huge. That is a massive shot, right? Because again, Gambit get an opening kill, but the trades, if they continue to go 1-for-1, maybe that brought a bit of a buffer for Axel. So we're back underway already. Shiro's tagged on down early. Could have been nades through the window. But he has that AWP, and he's going to hold the line. So they're trying to bolster mid. That has been a weakness in this first half here for Gambit. It's hard to say weakness.
Gap, dude. Smoke should remove it, I hope, I think. No, it doesn't. He'll just find a new one. Molly close. Nafli's got all the sound cues to imply he's in the right place. Turns the flash, he's just everything. Could possibly desire re-smoked as well, G2. Completely kept at bay.
Nafli has a smoke of his own to drop here as well. He can put another smoke grenade down towards this ramp. That's going to get them, well, around about that 45-second mark and harassing with more utility, but it's not going to give G2 a lot. And that's a curious one from Nafli. He wants to hang around. He's trying to invent new angles. Yeah,
well, if I'm G2, I just don't know what's on the other side of that corner now. That doesn't sound right. Something's a bit fishy. Something's a little odd. They'll still drop their own. Hobbit looking to join them in this short setup, and Nafli will profit. One and done. Nexa finds it. Hobbit to strafe out. Careful now, playing with fire. Nothing to report on his jiggle. Nexa's got the bomb on his back. His squad are going back.
They have to go back. There's only 20 seconds now.
Now, Daxal will report. Inters needs to stand, trying to take the first shot, draw attention, and look at the trigger discipline from Axel. Still only results in 1. There's the double opener. Now they need that plant. Smokes across, lovely move. Good shot from Shiro, 7. He wishes he could deny. Shot goes awry, 10 HP from him. Hobbit from behind, the highest fragger in the server. He's overtaken Exile. Now looking to secure a 12th. He knows Hunter's close, he heard steps. Hunter catches a glimpse and will convert. Just Shiro now. Looks like G2 could make it 4. Could, being the operative word. Low HP. Swaps over to the rifle. Hunter
No kit.
should have this one every day of the week. He's fired off a warning shot. Knows the hunt's coming in. Shiro trying to unload. Okay, we'll make it 4. G2. Good closeout towards the end of that one, managing to find 2 rounds at the end of 14 and 15, but still, Gambit Esports just 5 rounds away from taking us to 3 here in the battle for the playoffs, not only quarters, but even semis. I got a good one for you, Chad. Blair, you know Blair? We love Blair.
I know Blair.
So he just took to Twitter and said, there's a bit of a script established for Gambit's games so far at IEM Cologne. They lose map 1, then they get really mad and destroy on maps 2 and 3.
Okay.
Well, we're into map 2. An 11-4 half does seem to demonstrate that the trend has not been bucked just yet. 5 rounds separates Gambit from taking it to Inferno. We're getting into this pistol round. Now, Gambit, are they still 100% on pistols? My memory is terrible.
Yeah, so far it's been looking very, very good. This would make it 4 out of 4, and they bought 3 decoys here as the 1x bet odds swing back in the favor of the CIS team. But we're about to have a biff on B. Lots of bodies over towards this site.
Okay, and look at G2, all tucked in, good damage. Every bullet connects out of Axile's Glock, but Nixa does one better. 3, a triple. And he's handed Nico something to at least dig his teeth into. He can contest, he's got the smoke kit. Bit of a retake package, if you will.
That could be the perfect combo here for Nico. Normally just looking for headshots here, but might be able to get a bit tricky with this one. Hobbitt's going to come late through mid.
Nico's a wise owl. Let's see how he plays this. Can't believe, after the good shooting, the pre-fires, 3 stairs, and now Anthony on one side. Hobbit crawls in. He's not going to allow Nico to get up to any of that funny business.
Yeah, because at that point, if Nico drops the smoke and sits the defuse, he could be at a bunch of different angles, and it's going to be 2 players from 2 different angles spamming through the smoke, hoping to find a headshot there. So Gambit, they get themselves 12. They keep the pistol record looking beautiful. And this was the messiness that was over towards that B site. Nexa able to mop it up and almost does enough. But Hobbit here, he gets his 20th kill of the game so far. Keeps his name at the top of that scoreboard and puts Gambit just 4 rounds away from closing things down and taking us to Inferno with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, the Hobbit story, it's worthy of a Netflix special. It really is. And the fact he's doing it now, you know, this is for a spot in the semi-finals of IEM Cologne, the first land back after a 1.5-year hiatus. And he comes in, dropping 20 and 7 on their map pick. Up against the G2 that did just manage to make them sweat on our first map, Mirage. You're feeling the difference, though. This looks like a different Gambit when you get to their turf. So hard to find an advantage and to actually convert it.
Now, we had a couple of critiques, and so did the desk, about how, I want to say, standard the Gambit T-side was on Mirage. It was just these very, very slow defaults, and that meant that G2 could posture forward and take a lot of fights and actually use their aim to their advantage and cause those mid-round madness moments that we were catching. So let's see if Gambit want to have a bit more pace to their T-half this time round. So far, 45 seconds, and it is against the 4 spy.
G2's Deagles, though, there are no slouches on this sidearm. 3 in play. Molotov does spread them out thin, holding the line. 2 clicks of the mouse is the only chances they will get, and perhaps that's all she wrote for round 17.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see G2 throw all of this away for no reason. If you're Nexa, maybe get close enough to pick up one of those Deagles so that you can drop it across next round, and that's me talking best case scenario, because Nico, attempting to put his head in the vice right there, was having a look for a kill. Backs off out. And they will hold on to what they've purchased. No need for Gambit to hunt this. No point trying to give up an AK or a Galil or any of that. Just hold on to all the goodies and continue to do things by the book, because that is now just 3 more rounds. Look, I like if they can keep it clean and quick and get us straight onto Inferno, which is crazy to see Inferno as the 3rd map, right? Think about the amount of times teams were picking Inferno into Gambit. They were just picking it into them because it was their weakness time and time again. And because of that, Gambit got so much practice on Inferno that now it's a map that I think they have no dramas playing whatsoever. They had it in the live environment against some of the best teams in the world. So map 3, excited to get there. Hopefully the wind is not out of the sails of G2. Map 1 was great. There's still a couple of rounds of Counter-Strike left to be played, so let's see if they have anything to say about this one.
Stampeding, yeah, right over the bridge. They'll be heard and communicated. Jax, good catch of the nade. Safe hands.
It's hard to see them doing a lot with this, Red. It would have to be one individual stepping up. And you've already heard me talk about Nico's Deagle a couple of times. You've already seen the great shots that Jax has been able to lay down range. Bit of a Molotov towards the top of Scaff there allows Jax to peek around this.
Oh, he hits them both. Not the most significant of damage, but 100% connection of those bullets is a nice little boost opportunity if they get it right now. I like this. Oh, so promising. And just shy of the mark onto Nafany there. I think protected by the girder. He's having another look. There you are. Second time's the charm as he swings out short. Does behead Nafany. Now they are coming B. And Nexus MP9 burnt out of position. They've crossed their T's. They've dotted their I's. And they've knocked Nexa out of the round. Amanek fully blind. Like, what are you supposed to do? Oh, wait. I'll hold my breath for a second longer before I highlight what impressed me so much about that. You just saw the molly of every close angle. Anything a Deagle or an MP9 could have occupied was either Molotov, flashed, or smoked.
Came in waves as well. Okay, jumping accuracy is pretty beautiful. Now we have a conversation. Hobbit's on 50. 19 for Shiro. There's a kit on the side.
He said he had to be a hero, Chad. I don't know how he's supposed to do this one. Shiro is low, yes, but Hobbit, he's no slouch, and I think he's been spotted out. Okay, Deagle equipped. Jax takes a pot shot, and the bomb's not planted for them. He could just hold it, just a little slither. Too much for Shiro to punish. Gets a bit close towards the end there. A good attempt at the 1v3. Jax started that round and has a good shot at trying to finish it, but Gambit within touching distance now, 14 for them, right into the opening stages of our second half.
Very, very costly, so I suppose that's one positive if you're going to look towards what it means for G2. And now that they're investing, getting into the next round of play, they have that AWP out. Yeah, look, I love the fact that the flashes came through as well. It's not like they get the mollies down and then they just run in. Amanek had absolutely no chance. He's tried to push ahead of that smoke wall, but let's focus in on round number 19 as Jax will lob out a molly. That's to deal with the aggression of scaffolding from Nafany. It's worked perfectly because he's held him at bay for now.
Oh. Nafany, it just takes him a moment to scratch his nose after finding a complete freebie.
Happy with that one indeed. A little bit of a sound cue made there in middle, but right now nobody has eyes on Amanek. All right.
Ooh.
That was a spicy angle there. Levels things up, 4-4. G2 not done yet. Nico's position here towards scaffolding means if there's a lot of sound cues towards middle and B, he could start to push down into the forklift room. Axel selling a little something over towards that B bomb site. And Nafany gonna join him. Looks like they're gearing up for a B split. Have to get past Nexa, Hunter, and Amanek over towards elevator room with this AWP.
Amanek on the orb and just potentially spotted a glimpse of Hobbit. He doesn't even get a chance to tuck in. Hobbit takes his head clean off. Tight line held, forced back by the util. It looks like they're going to commit Nafany. Nico pushes up. He heard the sound cue. Axel's so quick on the draw. And Nafany's still here containing that B player. Nafany should have this one every day of the week. Oh, never mind. Makes a sound cue and doesn't clear his quad just yet, so... Nexa.
4x3'd.
Oh,
Nexa just got 4x3'd.
Booked.
He saw him.
We'll get them both. Just too easy, isn't it? 15 already for them, just flying out of the gates. Oh, now G2. They'll put everything they possibly can, every chip into the center of the table. Get to see some FAMAS action, 3 of them to be specific. And Inferno looms. Let's see this one again. Nico just started to push. 30-second mark, looking the wrong way and caught the timing favoring Gambit in every single one of those engagements. And Nexa, yeah, not a fun death for him either. Oy, 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 contain it. Just the second map. Nico, you can see, spurred forward by that frustration. A wall of util deployed by a combination of T and CT alike. Oh, just edge of the smoke. Axel shouldn't have anything there. Yeah, does go down. G2 have been given an advantage here.
That's not far off, was it?
No. Barely finished the sentence.
Well, this is one of the advantages that G2 have had, and there's only been few of those. Nico has to be worried here. They're boosting over the smoke. He might get caught out of position. Yes, indeed. Nafany again, the menace of this A ramp. The CT side, he was a monster. The T side, he's laying pain down again and equalized 4-on-4. Watch Gambit work with this. A minute on the clock, plenty of time to do their magic.
It's such a satisfying level of geekiness. Like, I don't know what the actual cue was, but like, something's telling me he was suspected that Nico would want to be re-smoking. About that 5 seconds as the smoke starts to fade, he gets the boost set up, or it just lines up perfectly. back to mid though. Now, of course, no warp in play.
They are gambling though towards this B site. Hunter's locking this down. Nexus still in a forward position, and Amanek, he was already on that bomb site. So if it is a B split, G2 are set up with their forces in the right places.
Full flash, perfect flashbang. Amanek, however, set up for success. They know there's another. Hunter doubles up and not checking his corners. G2 will delay the inevitable. Good find, should be some weapon upgrades as well.
You said the inevitable, for a very good reason, right? Could you imagine the comeback necessary here? It would be insane. That would be 10 more rounds in a row to make it a total of 11 rounds straight just to get to overtime.
And I've seen the Gambit that they're currently playing against. Like, I honestly, I'm going to say it right now, it's just not happening. It's impossible. It's impossible.
The well-oiled machine right here. And look, I don't believe in jinxes. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. We've seen some crazy comebacks in recent history. There was that Dust 2 with VP.
It ain't it. It ain't it. Not this time.
It would need to be some inspired Counter-Strike. Everybody from G2 would need to go Super Saiyan, and that's a great start from Jax. He's not backing down. He's not being scared. He's using his best attribute.
Bit deep on that. Hobbit will go ahead. Oh, why do I have a feeling Jax isn't anticipating this? Hobbit just worming his way early up the scaff and not really anticipating such a pushed up T presence. Hobbit might even be able to... Oh, he's going to reveal himself. Dropping a bit of a one-way, try and keep Hobbit feet planted.
Actually spurred him forward, so Hobbit's confirming that there's nobody close now. They can continue to crawl up the ramp. Jack's trying to reposition. G2 are reading this well. They have 3 players here close.
Yeah, if he gets a headshot, oof, nice trade. Amanek keeps the advantage. Exile's pushed up. Amanek swings out for his second. Shiro could be his third victim. 8 bullets left in the mag, and it's enough for the frag. 3 out of Amanek, puts himself onto the double digits, and now just Exile to contend with 35. Exile hunting. Bomb to be retrieved. Nice find. G2 will at least find a 6th. And that will spur a timeout out of Gambit.
Yeah, it makes sense here. You want to close this one down before too much confidence gets back in G2. Now, we're talking about this like it is done, and I still believe it is, but it's to do with what this can mean for the third map of the series, right? If you allow G2 to feel like, oh, we had a chance, we were warming into it, you know, we didn't have a great first half. Now they're going to go into that next map with refreshed confidence, whereas if you're Gambit, you just want to stop this. Stop it now, just get it done, make it look like an embarrassing scoreline, and move on and get your focus for that third map. Now, they will be going for some pistol upgrades here, and you can just calm things down. A plant would be great. A lot of damage, keep G2 on the ropes as far as their economy is concerned. The high end at this point is Amanek with 3.5 residual. You can see Jax, he's spent all of his pennies. He's got $0 left on over. So a couple of kills for Gambit would be great. A plant would be better. And they're heading straight over towards B here. They only have 1 smoke and 2 flashes. This might get messy quickly. Flashed on early. It hasn't actually been left the hands just yet.
Now would be perfect. Nexa drops his incendiary. Good damage. Hunter 2 on the M4 and a long-range Tech 9 out of Shiro. That might cause them to pause. Chips away at Hobbit again with the HE. Tight crossfire. Nico definitely been kept humble on Vertigo, and they might throw Hobbit. Okay, a flying Tech 9. This could be fun. Flying through the air onto the box as well for additional style points and instant accuracy. I would have lost my mind.
Yeah. That was a perfect dismount though, wasn't it? That was really cool to see. You know, we see a lot of teams go for that run boost. Obviously, trying to be tricky with it there, Gambit. And you're trying to manufacture something. You don't have a lot of utility to work with. It's just a pistol low by. You throw bodies to open that door. Here we go again. The guns are now out. They didn't get that plant. They did get some damage at least. What's the approach? What's the change? Shiro getting an opportunity to pick B here, and the head spotted. Shot whistles past. Nexa put on notice, has drawn Hunter over. Amanek now pivoting. He's going to play at this sandbag position for the AWP for now. Nafny not given the same opportunities.
Yeah, the angle that previously enabled Amanek to draw Shiro out of the round this time. Not going to give it to him.
It's not the same level of pressure on the ramp that we've seen earlier from G2. Staying transitional, and Amanek might have a crack at this.
Nafany, he's going to have a glance. I assume there'll be something. Yeah, a flash forces Amanek to look away. The second is what catches them. It did actually obscure Nafany's vision as well, so that's a bit of a cancel. Pulls the smoke out. Shiro onto Nico, keeps it level. This is the swing. Amanek can't miss. He doesn't. Hobbit neutralized. 3 remain for Gambit, and plenty of time for them to forge a path elsewhere. Saying that, it looks like Nafany does want to try and linger in the smoke and catch it on the other side as it fades. Jax is just detached. He should be able to adjust. Quick reactions from him. Gambit losing men left and right. 25 for this fight. Inter's equipped with the explosives. And yeah, this should just be Shiro and Inter's throwing their bodies into the short side of things. Jax just playing the clock. It's all his.
Can't win the round.
There's just simply no time. So holding on.
Flanking here too.
They're going to die after time. Or are they? That'll be enough from them. Shiro just going to be jumping and staring at a girder. Wow, they actually just save in plain sight. They'll take it though. G2 will take an 8. So as we discussed, the impossible was demanded of G2. They've at least managed to respond with the same amount of rounds Gambit brought out of the pistol in the second half. Didn't even manage to get himself off that elevated angle. Amanek did well. Crucial frag from him. It was Jax that really did maintain that advantage to the point where they just had to sit back and save. Some frustrations starting to creep onto Nafany's face.
Preempting a bit of a B play here. That's why they brought Hunter over so aggressively. Don't think Shiro's going to find too much of the AWP on this angle. Once again, a similar stance from their CT defense. Jax is tucked in towards Sandbag this time round, and Amanek's going to play that AWP over towards that short scaffolding side again.
After seeing the way that Gambit and Flash approached short, this new G2 setup with Nico fully anti makes a whole lot of sense. Contact on the fade of the smoke. Jax sandbags. Will they burn him out? Axel has one. Here it comes. Or not. Here it comes. Jax, they're pushing up. They know he's there. Still catches Shiro. Oh, Jax with the double. Nearly 3. Inter's finished off. And does look great for a 9th there. Nico and Amanek partner up to finish this one. Open and shut. Nothing for Nafany. And okay. G2. They're definitely not going down without a fight here. The cornered beast bites the hardest. And ever since they've had their back against the ropes, ever since they resided themselves to accepted defeat and a 3rd map, look at them fight their way out of this. Jax, the fact that they heard the sound cue, but they were so committed to the site.
Well, some of the things there when you see a setup like that is the player at Sandbags will just sit in the smoke, right, and wait for a flash or something. So they're trying to initiate on the other players. That's why they almost
not wasting their time on him.
Yeah,
You know?
Jax is going, oh, screw you guys. I want to get in for the fight here. So it will just be the light pistol upgrade, and it should be G2 securing their 10th round. Jax not able to land.
Not
2
like
Deagle
this.
shots.
Oh no. Kevlar and Diggs a partial buy, and already 2 opening kills that have eluded them on the full. Nico's about to try and test the waters on Inter's mid. Does he clear it? Yes, he does.
A little bit of pressure relief right there, but they're heading back over towards B. They haven't been able to get their hands on these guns. B is currently open, but because they don't have any of the upgrades, they're still very weak. There's head armor on Hobbit. There's Kevlar for Nafany and Shiro, but still, this is going to be a very difficult round to win, regardless of the number advantage.
And with 0 util, could deploy that run boost again.
Looks like they're setting it up. Good call.
Whee!
Straight in. Side call clear.
Yeah, that's a great incendiary as well. He's got the bomb in his grasp. Nice find from Hunter. He's managed to maintain G2's chances here. Won't be ready for close. Does manage the movement well, and only Axel remaining. 4 bullets in the Deeg. Every single one would have to find a head, and the first was good. G2 better. They recover from the early disadvantage there. Some great finds on the Deeg. Axel still a threat. Doesn't matter what weapon's in his hand. But yeah, quite the run now. That's 6. The impossible demanded of them. They would have to find another 5. 11 rounds in a row demanded of G2.
Well, one of the things that has changed for G2 here in this second half is finding opening kills. In the first half, in the first 15 rounds of play, they only had 2 opening kills on their T side. Currently now they're sitting at 10 in total, so that's 8 opening frags here on their defense of Vertigo. And if they win this one, well, then we really have to start having a conversation about this comeback.
Shiro catches Jax, as you said. They haven't let up on ramp, but that's quite the gap. And one being held by Amanek as well. Oof, he's got a real busy plate right now. There's a gap on short. He has no info as to whether or not they can slip, and that's why he's trying to slide back into sight.
How far's Nexa pushed up here? It looks like he's all the way down in that B lobby, so a lot of information to work with here. Yes, very pushed up from Nexa. He's an early warning signal here towards that B site. Axile, even more passive, back over towards spawn. So Gambit aren't taking any risks on this one, and the fact that they have this number advantage, the fact that they have a lot of utility, they're able to pick their poison of bomb site here and execute and trade efficiently. That should be name of the game, but Nexa might get the better of Axile here.
This is a big frag from Nexa. He provides Gambit. That might spur them into A. Util exchange. Advancing their crawl. Nico joins the pack. It's Amanek's AWP that might be the first to post resistance here. Stands and delivers. Hobbit down. Flash for the repeat. Shiro forced off the line. It enables Amanek to post up. Smokes obscure view. Might take a pot shot. Not quite on the mark. He does tag up Inters though. If only he could find Nafany, and he has. Bomb ticking. Gambit, a chance to end it all right here. Retake required. Smoke and kits present. Shiro on the sandbag. It's a very hard spot to force them out of the line. The smoke might be their best bet. He's dropped it early. Nico to perhaps try and get on the site. Shiro's lined it up. And here comes G2's retake. Nade looks promising. Might have masked the diffuse sound. No, pushing in. Clear short time. Sensitive just pulls the trigger. First found. Inters unloads his mag. Next is elevated. Shiro's finishing it off. And he will with style and pizzazz. 3 out of the AWP. Gambit will take it. I said formality, but yeah, G2, as you discussed, have definitely proven to themselves. Inferno, just getting the cogs back, twisting, getting the machine back up and running for our third map, and we will look to separate Gambit G2